Tagan, what's up, buddy? Doing good. How are you doing? Ah, yes, yes. Doing great. This is definitely an H. What's up, Miz? What's happening, buddy? What am I gonna do? Deacon wants to bring Golden Guardians in tonight. Uh, what do you think? How many? How many are those people in and play with us? Because it seems like we're not gonna have, like, seems like a lot. He was trying to get me to play with him the other night. I want to say no, but I don't want to cut them off because we need a few people for a war game. I don't know how many. Okay, I don't think we're going to have a problem getting people for a war game. I really don't. And I can actively help you as well because I haven't been. We need to be exclusive, and there's an attraction to that, right? It's one of the things that kind of separates us from the other groups, and I would stick with that. I wouldn't let them in, not like that. And how many? How many? You don't know how many? Okay, yeah. Like if it was like one or two for a war game, and if they're chill people, but war game's different, right? There's like three, yeah, but that's too general a statement. I would be inclined to say no. We have to be okay with saying no. And if people want to get offended, that's their problem, right? And I don't think they'll get offended. I don't. And I don't think it'll ruin us with Deacon. And we just communicate this with him. It's 10 or 15? No way. No way. That's a whole new pre-made. We're not doing, you can't, you know that. I know you agree with that. That's too much. And, to be honest with you, Deacon shouldn't be asking that. And that's the thing. I don't think we'll lose him. I don't think at all that we'll lose him. Deacon's pretty. He's more chill than he used to be, and I think we communicate. Say, look, one of the things we want people to play with, who they want to play with, and I get that it's hard not being able to play with certain people on this night, but we only run one night, and we're full, and we're also trying to keep it quiet and chill with the group of people that we have and work with them, and you are a huge part of it. That's how I would say it, and I can talk to him too because I'm pretty decent at expressing that. I definitely wouldn't bring that in because he shouldn't be asking that. He knows better than to ask that. Now, it's one thing if you want to do world PvP in that fashion, which I know you're not into as much, but that makes more sense, right? That makes way more sense. I'm going to actually move this setup up a little bit. Let me see if I have another easel. I'm going to have to get another little easel to prop my phone up on. So I'm going to be doing a lot of work up close. Like we need to remain exclusive. I think it's good for people to want to desire to be with us. It can't be that we're open to everybody, because then we lose what we have. Which I've had a great time. I like being chill and just having fun with the guys I'm playing with, and you've been having a great time too. I think I'll tell our people tonight, while Deacon is around, they should play with him and Golden Gunners on our off nights. That's totally fine. We just need to also keep in mind, like, if that's the case, if there's like 15 people, we can't let one or two of them in. And there might be some resentment, them saying, oh, well, we let them play with us, but, they won't let us play with, or you see what I'm saying? Like, they might feel it's only going one way, but, as long as people don't act like children, I'm fine. But people get like butthurt if they're not allowed to play with their friends. And so if you bring like one or two of them in, then everybody else might resent that. And But somehow we just need to keep it so that we have our group and that's it, right? Because we don't want to start opening it up to a bunch of people and then just change the composition to it. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir. You know this stuff. We've been through this extensively. I just jammed my easel. Switch, there we go. But hey, it's good, and that's one of the reasons why people want to play with us. It's not like we're not one of these mega pre-made group of people. We're just chill and we're having fun. We're kind of making fun of all that stuff, and we need to maintain that. That's how I look at it. Okay, you're taking off? Cool. Yeah. All right, I'll see ya. Tag in. Sorry for the nerd chat, buddy. I'm gonna bring my phone up here so I can actually read the chat better from up close. Saying this stuff. I have 2 easels now. Side easels. You cannot see. There we go. All right, buddy. So the reason why I'm going to be up close, I'm going to be making some changes. Like I'm not going to be stepping back as much at the moment, and you'll see why. I have a pretty solid idea of what exactly I'm doing with this, but right now, so I have 2 things that I can do. I can either brush in the charcoal, or I can just kind of, mesh it on. This is ridiculous. There you go, that's it. Mesh it in. Hey, thanks. I've noticed I've slowed down, right, in how I normally work. So the key here, when you're working up close, and I'll still be stepping back, but I'm trying to work this charcoal into the paper, and I'm using a little bit of a different method. And maybe you could brush in one part. Maybe I brush in one part and show you exactly. Let me find my brush really quick. That's not it. Where's my brush? I had a brush. Doesn't matter. Pretty much any brush will do. Still want to start mixing up. This is my brush. This is the brush. So, like for example, oh, it is? That sucks. So I can kind of work this in just a little bit. And this is a viable way of doing it, but it's also taking some of it up. And it's going to generalize it just a little bit. So I'm going to work this one area right here. And see, the thing is, I don't like smoothing it out too much, but we can see how this looks. And at the same time, I'm thinking about the form within the leg, because now we're generalizing it, right? At least the inside planes. And I'm kind of going on the outside too, but I don't want to lose the drawing on the outside. Let's work that area. Let's go here, so it's not just like inside. And we're taking our time, right? We don't need to move quick. Thinking about what I'm doing on the knee area. All right, so that's not bad. I don't mind doing that. I can brush that up. And then we can go back over it with a combination of the B, right? This is B, soft charcoal. I'm gonna step back, the whole thing. And then we're gonna come up and try to get the form back into it. So we kind of got into the groove, so we do a light brushing. This is acting like an H. Let me find a softer piece of charcoal. This is an H. This is a B. This is softer. Sometimes you'll find those B's that are like, I'm gonna change the music. I don't really feel like listening to this. I agreed with my client to do a sort of abstract painting. It's going to be a good experience. You couldn't persuade him? I got you. So once you build your work up, you'll be able to persuade him potentially with your work. And once you get more commissions, you'll be able to turn others down potentially. little softer. I'm sorry to hear that though. It does suck. You know, I've been there, and sometimes people don't have like really good taste. So this is, I think, an H because it's still very hard. I'm just going to slowly work it in. I'm going to be bringing the light values up, back and forth, back and forth. So thinking about the light, thinking about the light. And keep on, always focus on the technique, right? Because a lot of people, what they do tag in is they have like these lines and they space the lines so far apart that it looks very sloppy, and it hurts the work because of it. Obviously you don't want to do that. So that's looking pretty good, but it's lost some form, so we're going to get that form back in. So I'm going to constantly keep on going back in and working these areas up. Trying to think about the planes, right? Now this part I didn't really go over with the eraser, or with the brush. Now I could. As an interior designer, he should have taste. But the problem is a lot of those guys, like the interior designers, they have like this abstract, you know, it's kind of like that new age feel, you know, people who sit around and drink cocktails all day and such. What's up, Hammy? How are you doing? So that's sucks, man. I know. It's frustrating, right? It'd be very frustrating. So this I'm going to do different. So I brush this in. That doesn't look bad, but we need to go back through, get the drawing, get the form and such. Now I'm going to be fluctuating back and forth. I'm going to be using the eraser to go through, take it down, and then also bring it back up. Or rather, take it up and then bring it back down. So we're going to be flip-flopping back and forth. There we go. And I go in with the H and just slowly massage this in, and I might go in actually too with some B. And I'm going to continue to get more refined and precise so that then I can start getting all the small details and all that stuff in, you know, those smaller planes. So I'm trying to work this area evenly, right? This I'm going over lightly, just trying to be patient and let the charcoal sink in a little bit smoother. It has such a kishy taste. People have that, I know, man. It's frustrating to me because I feel like it's such a waste of space and time, and like I get that everybody has a different taste, but I sometimes feel that there's a line that's drawn, and sometimes it's bad taste, and that's why it's frustrating as an artist. If you don't have support, you feel like you need to take these commissions that you don't want to take, and the problem is if you get known, for example, doing dog portraits, you're going to get more dog portraits potentially. That might not be the direction that you want to go, but it's what's paying the bills, right? Oh, it does. You know, I hope it's not my thing. Let me see, make sure I have it plugged in. Mine's plugged in. I don't think it's my signal. I hope it's not my signal. Mine's been pretty good recently. All right, really absorb the information, and then we're going to go back into it here. Just lightly going over it. And so then, I don't want it like really, really, really smooth. I want to work the charcoal into this paper because it's very grainy. So that holds the value, right? That's why this paper is good for charcoal. It's not going to flutter off as easily as like slick sheet of paper, especially like a newsprint would. But the disadvantage at first is that it is very grainy and it's hard to kind of break the paper in. You don't want to wear the paper down. Wear the paper down, it's not going to hold anything. You want to break the paper in, meaning you want to get the charcoal into the grooves, and then you'll feel just the right texture to get that deep push to it, but you're also able to get like detail as if you were working with graphite. Oh, you got one bar, yeah, that sucks. But anyway, I know, man, I've been through the same thing, and it can be frustrating. It really is. I hear you. You know, but at least you have some work. Let's look on the bright side. You have some work, and you're going to get some experience from this. Oftentimes, it's stuff that you never thought would happen. Sometimes it's good experiences. Sometimes it's bad experiences. You know, hold this down some. So I'm just working this, and when I'm working this, I'm not just thinking break the paper in. I'm also thinking about the form and the structure of that belly. I'm trying to look at the whole figure as I do this. It's a continuous practice to see the whole thing at once. Now, there's you know, doing quick sketches and like gesture drawings are really good too for getting into large shape, like trying to see the whole shape at once. But if you're going to be successful, you have to be able to work a figure slow, but learn to see the whole shape all at once, at all stages. You never break it down. You never like hone in and just piecemeal it, ever. And that's something that's a habit that you need to form, and so you need to be consciously aware of it. To do that, you need to be constantly reminded. Always look at the whole shape. You don't need to be doing necessarily a specific, you know, activity or drawing style to do that. You just simply try to keep on reminding yourself, look at the big shape. So use your peripheral vision, right? I'm looking at this right here, but I'm looking at the whole thing as I do it, and I'm trying to keep my mind engaged with everything else. So that's one of the little tidbits of info. So it's just like very slow shifts with this type of work. You know, I always question how fun this is to watch. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is fun. I just, you know, we're not making these drastic changes. I won't draw it that way because I'm blocking the camera. We're not making these drastic changes. So I feel like it'd be a little bit boring to watch, but you know what? When it starts coming together, I think it'll be appreciated. Assistant director changing positions within the next year again. Is that good or bad, Hammy? Right, so as you can see, I'm constantly going back through, shifting. Let's bring this up here. Shifting the values up and down. Bring them up, pushing them back down, breathing it into the carta, the paper. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. And then once we do that, I can really, you know, the paper gets broken in, I can start getting really tiny details and stuff. Even breaking these little shapes down into little baby shapes of their own, you know? Little shapes within shapes within shapes. And if you do it the right way, you don't over model it, it actually gives it some solid form, but you have to have individual shapes, right? So tagging, we're talking about, you know, having form in a drawing as opposed to generalizing a drawing, which I have a solid example. In fact, I'm going to be getting to that at the tail end of this. Once I get tired with this drawing today, I'm going to switch over to the pen and the pencil drawing that I've been doing, and I will demonstrate that for you. The difference between generalizing drawing, just rounding it off, something with solid structure and form, which is what we aim for. That's what we aim for. There you go. And this is a relatively hard piece of charcoal. I think this is an H. It feels like an H. Sometimes B's, which are soft ones, feel like H's. HB is in between. There we go. So the difference between this and this is perhaps I can still get it kind of a fresh look, but I feel like this is a fresher look right here than this is, and maybe that's not apparent on the stream, which is why I slowly work it in. My dad, thank you, Hammy, it can be good or money, but responsibility, we'll take it. I would take it, and responsibility, if you can handle it, is a good thing. But you do your thing. Dad is in a lot of pain today for some reason. It's like his neck is hurting him, and we don't know if it's muscular or within his trachea, his throat, or what have you, if it's acid reflux, because, you know, you can't, I don't know. He's in a lot of pain, and so he's on the couch today, which I don't like. You know, it's hard for me to bring him in here. It's hard because it's physically very difficult to get him in. I essentially expend a lot of energy trying to get him into the studio. Somebody called. Give me a second. Let me see who that is. It might, because I need to make sure. Guys, give me a second. It's my mama, and I need to make sure everything's okay. 1 second here. I'm gonna mute the mic just for a second. Guys, I'm very sorry. I'm going to be streaming, and I'll be back on in about 30 minutes. I have to go home and help my mom with my dad really quick. We don't have anybody else who can do it, so I'm going to go home, and I'll be back, and we're going to start on this, and I plan on streaming the rest of the afternoon. And so I'm very sorry. I have to stop the stream temporarily. Give me about 30 minutes or so, give or take a couple minutes, and I'll be on as quickly as I can. I'll put a notification out in Discord, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.